Real Kundalini awakening is a dissolving process, not a love and light process. The Kundalini energy is a serpentine essence that sits dormant by default at the base of the spine. The fact that the Kundalini is dormant and coiled within the root chakra is symbolic of the fact that humanity have become detached from their life force and from their body sensations. So basically, the repressed Kundalini is symbolic of the desensitized nervous system. So what happens when the Kundalini begins to rise is that it triggers a sensitization of the nervous system and begins to burn through the suppression that is stuck within the lower parts of your field, which is always the core of your trauma. So many Kundalini activation practices don't even scratch the surface as to what this energy is actually capable of. Real Kundalini activation is there to trigger your deepest and most repressed wounds to flood through to the surface and has the very role of dissolving suppression. Okay, every time we experience an emotion that is not processed, it crystallizes within the body and within the nervous system. And it's the Kundalini's role to sensitize the system, burn through those crystals, and bring the repressed energy to the surface. So people who don't realize that Kundalini work has this effect can very easily get destabilized by the inevitable process that will begin to unfold if they are genuinely awakening their Kundalini. Now, many people think that they are activating their Kundalini by engaging in New Age Kundalini activation practices, but in the majority of cases, this is not real Kundalini awakening. It's tickling the nervous system, triggering some firework responses, a bit of convulsing on the floor, few muscle spasms, and that's it. But unless you are actually experiencing deep and repressed trauma coming to the surface to be processed and integrated, and unless you are actually going through genuine dissolution of the layers of who you thought you were as a person, then your Kundalini is not awakening. Okay, now spontaneous Kundalini awakening can definitely take place. That happened to my partner. It triggered her awakening process. But again, it's a continuous process. The Kundalini awakens spontaneously when the soul demands change. And what it will do, as I've mentioned, is bring a lot of repressed energy to the surface. And if you are not prepared to deal with it, then it can very easily destabilize you. So real Kundalini work will induce deep trauma integration.